Today we're taking a first look at what's inside this box, which you already know because you clicked on the video. The stuff that I have been seeing from Holosun has been impressing me. Now, I did get to check out the Holosun 509. You can check out my first look video up there. I'll put a card. Otherwise, if you're on the webpage or Facebook, you can search for my first look video of the Holosun 509. That's the closed emitter version, and I really liked it. Now, Holosun is not like brand new to the red dot reflex type sight market. They're making a very well-known presence for themselves in the market, and their reputation so far has been good. Their products have been standing up. A lot of people have been running them through classes. Some people are even using them on duty. They're making their way in the competition world. So if you are interested in a red dot for your handgun, chances are you've heard of Holosun, and I'm excited to take a first look at this guy, which is the 508T version 2. As you can see, it is an open emitter style. Thank you guys very much for checking out this video and spending a few minutes of your day with me checking this out. My name is Dave Tim from Guns and Tactics. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. You can also check us out online. Yeah, so this is a final version. This is not a prototype or anything like that. This is a final version. This is what you're going to get if you purchased this. And before we talk about purchasing, this is a media demo. I don't get to keep this for an extended period of time, like super long or forever. They're not paying me to make this video, so what you're hearing is my actual first thoughts. But I do get to keep it for a little while, and I'm looking forward to running it through its paces this summer and then doing a more complete review this fall. If you are looking to purchase this, MSRP is $435 to $470, depending on if you're looking at the red or green version. Street price on this is actually going to be less though. Street price is going to be around $370 to $400, again, depending on which color, red or green. So it's definitely not an entry-level optic. They're definitely going after more of that professional, that self-defense, duty, serious competitor market. But from what I'm seeing, you know, this looks like a solid product. And yes, I already did open the box and played with it because I couldn't resist. But, you know, it's what joys of my job. I like what I do. So here's what it comes with. It comes with a cardboard thing inside the plastic. You get a lens cleaning cloth, some silica, don't eat. You get the owner's manual, which is actually pretty well written. I give props. They list torque values and things like that, which is important, guys. If you're not reading the manuals and getting proper torque values, please do yourself a favor. Don't strip your screws. Speaking of screws, they do give you some screws here. Give you a battery, which the battery is a 1632. However, when I took it out of the box, I turned it on and it worked. No battery in it, but I'll show you why. And then it comes with a tool, which is nice. And what I like about this particular tool is it does have a flat head so you can access the battery compartment, and then it does have a Torx T10 to tighten the screws, so that's cool. Now, what is the most important thing, of course, is the red dot itself. And why did it work without a battery? Because it has a solar panel on top. And that solar panel also helps to act as a brightness meter, so in case you want to have it on the auto brightness mode, if it's super bright out, it sees a lot of bright light, so it makes the dot bright. When it doesn't, it makes it dimmer. Or it does have the plus and minus buttons on the side so you can manually control it, which is I prefer to do. You can also use this to select the reticle. Speaking of reticles, you do have 3 choices. You can select the center dot only, which is 2 MOA. You can select the outer ring only, which is 32 MOA, or you can select them both, so it's a 32 MOA ring with the 2 MOA dot. I'm simple, I just prefer the 2 MOA dot, but you know, whatever works for you works just fine for you. Now, as far as full specs, I will post a link in the description to the Holosun webpage so you can read the full specs. I don't like reading full specs because I think that's boring. However, I will highlight a couple of things that they list in the manual, and that is the high quality battery can power this for up to 10,000 hours circle dot or up to 50,000 hours dot only at setting 6, which I think that's pretty respectable. Additionally, with the dual power fail-safe system, it's kind of nice. Even if your battery does take a crap at you at the range, the solar panel will work. And I'm going to also test that at night to see what kind of ambient light it can pick up at night to potentially power the optic without a battery. So that'll be in my full review, which is coming this fall again. One spec worth mentioning is that it is made completely out of titanium, and the whole weight is just 2 ounces, which offers pretty lightweight, but yet a hopefully rugged and durable optic. Another quick mention for operating conditions is they do list an operating condition temperature range of -22 all the way to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, which is a pretty wide range. However, I might be able to give that a run for its money this winter. What's also cool is they do give you a Picatinny mount, so it does come with that. The Picatinny mount does have the lugs and then the screws, and you can put this on any standard 1913 rail. And you'll notice the bottom of the optic is RMR footprint. So if you have a slide that is pre-milled or a plate that will take a RMR optic or an RMR footprint optic, this will fit right on there. So I'm not going to be using the 1913, and instead we are going to be installing it on a handgun here in just a moment. But before I do that, I'll show you how to throw the battery in quick. Battery is accessible on the side, which is awesome because that means if it's on your gun, you can still access the battery to make changes. You don't have to take the optic off, which the RMR, you actually have to take the whole optic off to change the battery. So just unscrew it, and it is not captured, which is one of my only things that I noticed with the 509 as well, is that you have to be careful. If you were doing this at the range, this little screw can come out just like it did there. So you want to make sure that you don't lose this little screw. So try to keep it in the battery door, and this little gasket tries to hang on to it. And you know, it's kind of tough to see there, but this little gasket should hang onto the screw, but keep in mind it could fall, so just use some caution. One quick point to note on the battery tray is if you do have trouble getting the battery tray out, on the edges here it does have two little slots, and I know that's super tough to see on camera, but those slots will allow for the tool to kind of engage, and then you can use that to gently you know, kind of convince the battery door, but you know, to come out of the optic. But anyways, put your battery in. Oh, stop dropping it. Put your battery in. Tray and battery go in the optic. Insert your screw, which as you can see, it does also have a little bit of blue thread locker on there, which is a nice touch. Snug down the screw. Don't need to over tighten it, okay? So that is the optic. Looks pretty nice. I mean, it's very lightweight. Again, you can see the specs, but it has a nice window. It does have a slight blue tint to the glass, but I don't really see that looking through, you know, the lens in a real world situation. There is just a hair of, you know, distortion at the very edges, which is common, but I'm really looking forward to getting this installed. Oh, and it fits nice and snug. Check that out. So it follows the RMR footprint very well. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a nice snug fit. No play. Torque down to the appropriate torque. I'm using the new Borka torque driver, which I will have a full review coming out on this, but this thing's awesome. It's his best tool to date. If you're a serious operator who's operating operationally in operations, you need witness marks. Dave, wouldn't it have been easier to install the sights before you installed the optic? Oh yeah, for sure. But sometimes I like to live life dangerously. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Now, bring your tool width to the range because the adjustment screws are the same flathead screw as it is to take the battery door off. So we're just going to use the included tool, and then you can go ahead and click your appropriate adjustments for windage as well as for elevation right at the top. So very easy to adjust. We're going to go ahead and get this sighted in, and then we're just going to take some first shots, maybe run a little bit of drills on some steel, and get our first impressions after the Loctite cures, and I'll see you at the range. $100 yards, not too shabby, not my best, not my worst. So just wrapped up my first range session with the 508T version 2, and so far I'm impressed. Nothing really bad to say thus far. The witness marks are holding solid thanks to that Loctite. I put maybe 300 rounds through it, give or take, and you guys are hopefully going to see some through the lens shooting, and the dot is super easy to pick up. You can either choose, again, the dot, the halo with the dot, whichever option works for you, but so far it appears to be holding up just fine. I'm looking forward to running this optic on a few other guns. Going to rotate it around a little bit on some other RMR cut platforms, maybe even throw it on a rifle for a bit too. But so far I really do like what I'm seeing. It's lightweight, it's easy to pick up, the window is very generous, and out here shooting even in bright daylight I had no problem with the brightness settings, and I have no problem with any color or tint issues. Again, there's a slight bluish tint, but real world situation, I don't even notice it, didn't even think about it until I actually go to look for it, and you can compare it to the actual color of whatever you're looking at. But all in all, I like what I am seeing, and I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time with this on the range. If you guys have any questions about this, go ahead and sound off in the comment section below, or if you have any questions about firearm stuff in general, send an email to the email address shown below, which is theqa@gunsandtactics.com. At the end of the month, we answer your questions, and of course, one lucky question asker wins a prize. As always, guys, if you liked the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. We work really hard to make content that we hope you as a shooter would enjoy. Subscribe to our channel, check out our featured videos and playlists, and if you have a question firearms related, go ahead and send an email to the address shown on the screen to be entered into our monthly QA series.